Watch me slide Nino Jab. Let's go a little bit harder. You can tell I'm different. Got a hawk ambition. Car crash got me feeling like there's something missing. Chastisement of the Lord got me moving different. I'ma tell you like it is, they gon' Reggie Bush it. Singing hymns, speaking oracles in our sanctuaries. The things you witness here right now are gonna be legendary. I just wanna live forever before I meet the cemetery. I have nothing to give, so all I am, I give my all to you. To you, to you, to you, to you, to you.
Four Corner News, where truth speaks.
Sabbath morning, rise and shine, hit the block, make it hot, shake 'em down. We go at it till about 4 or 5 o'clock. Warfare, got my gear, I'm prepared for the op. And we talking how we walk it, yeah, that's how we rock. Friday night, gotta rest, in the morning, hit the block.
Four Corner News, where truth speaks.
Sabbath morning, rise and shine, hit the block, make it hot, shake 'em down. We go at it till about 4 or 5 o'clock. Warfare, got my gear, I'm prepared for the op. And we talking how we walk it, yeah, this is how we rock. Friday night, gotta rest, in the morning, hit the block, shake 'em down. We go at it till about 4 or 5 o'clock. Warfare, got my gear, I'm prepared for the op. And we talking how we walk it, yeah, this is how we rock. Hey, I'm a workaholic, boy, don't play with me. Hey, no breaks, do this till the death of me. I'm with Elohim, careful what you say to me. Better watch your talk. We been the chosen ones, I heard you claim to be. Yeah. What do you got, hey, what do you got? What do you got, cause talk is cheap. What do you got, you see me say? Yeah, we got that remedy. What do you got, hey, what do you got? Heard you got that kill for me. What do you got, cause I need help? What do you got, cause talk is cheap. So I dedicate to do this every week. Yeah, we don't move on, so they thinking that we weak. Yeah. Never get it twisted, ayy, don't sleep. We the sanctified, we pull up to your hood to clean the sheet, yeah, yeah. And I'm blessed, Wolfie on the crest, yeah. All I do is raving, praying for the rest. To the east, from the west, on a quest, never rest. About that work, don't about it, I'm obsessed, yeah. Sabbath, 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 Sabbath.
Big body sumo flow, if you bout your crown. Kudos though, baby rap, yo. Down it's the uno dose. Uno dose, said it's the uno dose. 1, 2, 1, 2, big body sumo flow. If you bout your crown, kudos though, baby rap, yo. Down it's the uno dose. The uno dose, said it's the uno dose. 1, 2, 1, 2. The wind's changing, it's discernible. I left my gold bottoms at a terminal. Righteous king amongst you. This right hand can front you a check or it can thump you. Whatever it gotta come to. Perfect shots at impossible angles. It's either have to have nots and they not to be tangled. Damn, we shifting nature sliding off them boats. And on the land the finishing move was off the rope. Woe to eat them for overeating. Selling sugar and bogus freedom and broken English. You problem child. But we got him now, 144 wild sumo flow. If you bout your crown, kudos dope. Baby rap, yo, town is the uno dose. The uno dose, said it's the uno dose. 1, 2, 1, 2, big body sumo flow. If you bout your crown, kudos dope. Baby rap, yo, town is the uno dose. The uno dose, said it's the uno dose. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Four Corner News, where truth speaks.
Water on my left, fire on my right. Path in the middle, that's the key to Christ. If I slip and fall, I can die tonight. If I slip and fall, I can die tonight.
Fireworks for them Jews that do lie. Got time to repent, but they choose not. When that fire crack on that water rush, you gon' wanna do what you do not. But it's too late, no restart, no back button, no please, Lord, just have mercy. When you had time, you went out of one. Shake the hand, but never testify them. Keep the laws, I'm trying to keep them all like a order. Coast to coast, ain't bringing luggage, no need for a border. Build my faith like a wrecking ball. Judas will cut you off. On the day of the Lord, you regret it all.
Four Corner News.
C'est parce que oui, vous réglez mon bon Dieu. Avant de retourner, là, oui.
Water on my left, fire on my right. Path in the middle, that's the key to Christ. If I slip and fall, I could die tonight. If I slip and fall, I could die tonight.
Playing with your sin right now, that's so dangerous. Your judgment come quick before you try to hang it off. That's something you can't run away from. That's something you can't run away from. And that's something you can't run away from. That's something you can't run away from. Don't tarry, make haste and delay now. Whenever you get the chance, you better try and get your shit together. You think you're good because your judgment seems it hasn't come. But in the hour, there'll be no place to hide and no place to run. You think you're good in your security. Execution coming speedily.
Four Corner News.
No idle words, you better watch your mouth. You better keep thy foot whenever you step in this house. Playing with your sin right now, that's so dangerous. Your judgment come quick before you try to hang it up. That's something you can't run away from. That's something you can't run away from. And that's something you can't run away from. That's something you can't run away from. And that's something you can't run away from.
Can't run from it.
That's something you can't run away from.
Death aiming at your waves in the crosshairs. Trying to run, boy, you crash like software. Don't try to get to work when the all-stare boss here. Here around the corner like a bald head. Still peddling, still reveling, still selling it. Still illing, you still stealing, you still meddling. Sin upon sin for the sheer hell of it. Sin makes skin melanin irrelevant. Oh, you black, wow, still click, clack, pow. Meanwhile, the black cloud in your background. Take advantage of the now that you have here. Or feel pain after death like you can't hear. Every day a challenge, still waiting in a balance. In eternity of violence or inherency of promise. Watching out for your soul like Dr. Shows. If you know we about to go, then let's rock and roll. No more chit chat on the Sabbath selling knickknacks or pimps named slick backs. Let the script fix that. We sharp at toothpicks and pickaxe on the 6 track. Officer, you get that? Yep.
Yeah. We're only as strong as our weakest. Prayers go out to all 12 tribes.
Jim hasn't returned yet. I'll have him call as soon as he can 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 call.
All of this time to waiting in line to rush, cause we're next up. Legs are getting tired, but holding the line, no letting up. We gon' run it, all our time is coming. We gon' run it, just hold the line, hold the line.
Yeah, connected, receptive. I guess these young boys didn't get the message. I can see them all trying to finesse us. Watch out for the snakes trying to infect us. Look at all that time that you invested. Wow, I'm sorry you couldn't follow directions. Wow, was here for a moment, then you left us. Wow, the club is the only thing you left with now. We all got different hang-ups on me, but I gotta hold the line, so don't hang up on me. The wisest man on the earth, and they don't compare. And if you scared, go to church, don't come here. See, I can see straight through you like the ozone layer. You got traits of deceit, so that makes you a traitor. I am who I am, and that's me. What's is without real, and that's we. Come on, yeah.
All of this time to waiting in line to rush, cause we're next up. Legs are getting tired, but holding the line, no letting up. We gon'.
Four Corner News, where truth Speak.
You ever imagine you was a king or a queen? And everything around you and everyone around you was blessed. Deuteronomy 14:2. It's not your imagination. No, you're not Black American. You wonder why they call you Jamaican. When you were above all the other nations. It's not your imagination. No, you're not a Haitian. You wonder why they call you Puerto Rican. When you were above all the other nations. It's not your imagination. They just wanna keep us down. They don't wanna see us with the crown. You the morning, then the gates thereof languish. They are black into the ground. Yeah, keep us low, keep red, that and no see. It's more to you than them dreads and them gold tee. I never cut my beard, forget a gold tee. Guard your spirit like a goalie. Why I go on, brethren, men and brethren, what must I do in order to be saved? Common sense should tell you to do the opposite that made us be slaves. A little spanking from the Father just to make us behave. Hey, Sapase, Nabule, lift thy coming, so let both hands be raised. But the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Who are you when the roles reverse? It's not your imagination. No, you're not a Cuban. You wonder why they call you Dominican. When you're above all the other nations. It's not your imagination. No, you're not Colombian. You wonder why they call you an Indian. When you're above all the other nations. Oh yeah, search the planet, no such thing as Hispanic. Hold on, I got the truth, don't panic. Yeah, they say they read the Bible, but they don't understand it. Psalms 111:10, you got to keep the commandments. No lie, it's real, don't hate, the great reveal. Man, you don't know how it feels to be walking with a big smile, knowing that I'm not really a Gentile. They can't lie to you when you know the truth. Fringes on, all of a sudden they notice you. But when you're cursed and dispersed, cast out, scattered in the four corners of the earth. Born in the bondage from birth. And hell yeah, it hurt. And it worked. I'm chosen, I'm called, I'm a saint. Had to change my life and live right. I'm an Israelite, I'm not black. I'm an Israelite. Keeping the commandments to the Most High. That's worth more than lies, yeah. Diving at the pylon. Meet me in Zion.
Yeah. That's right, that's right.
Welcome to Four Corners News.
That's
where
right.
the truth speaks. That's right.
That's right.
Hey, that brother is bad on the track.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, for all of those that keep asking on YouTube whose song was, it's gonna come out.
Hey, it's soon coming.
It's
soon coming. Soon coming.
Just hold
Turn me up.
We got more to come.
Soon coming.
All right. Shout out to the FCN tech team. Hey, I am Captain Zakat to my left.
Captain Severus.
To my right.
Captain Gad.
To my far left.
Officer Tobias.
To my right.
Officer Elishua.
To my far right.
Soldier Lyell.
And we make up Four Corners News.
That's right. Soldier Lyell, a.k.a. Radio. Radio. Y'all know that movie Radio with Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Yeah. That's messed up, man.
That's my brother, man. I got to get on him, man.
Hey, man, take that scripture off. We ain't pulled no scripture yet. Hey, but let's get into it here. Hey, I think it is in the spirit because it might be where we going, but I don't know. Let's open up, man. We're going to open up. I know a lot of y'all been seeing on social media how all of the ratchet black women out there have turned against Fantasia.
Bring it out.
Oh, they not buying her album. They ain't going to concerts no more.
I ain't see that.
It's all that, Twitter, man.
Yeah.
They come out the woodwork on Twitter, man.
Remember, they're not going against Fantasia. They're going against God's order.
Right.
That's right. God's order.
That's right.
Yeah. But she just got enough sense to actually speak it.
Right.
So, hey, let's go to that article. Let's open up with that article. Pull that for us. Read that for us, soldier.
All right. Fantasia thinks women need to submit.
That's right. That's why you can't find a man.
Bring it out. Why you can't find a man. Now you know all the strong, independent, snap their neck, roll their head, black women. You don't know what you talking about. That ain't why I can't find no man, honey. Thing I get a man when I want to, but I can't keep him as long as I want to. That's what they ought to be saying. You can get one, but you can't keep one. Right. It's for a certain reason now.
Hey, that's heavy though, Cap, because it takes submission to keep a man.
Right. It does. Right. It does. And a lot of sisters have, you know, a lot of sisters have went out there and blamed, mass incarceration, no job, this the other. Nah, that ain't no excuse why you ain't got no man.
Angry, loudmouth woman that men can't stand and they run away from. That's plain.
That's straight to jail, huh? Hey, and I'll say this. I will add on to what Fantasia said. She said word cause you can't submit. That's one reason why you can't find a man. And the second one, which is just as important as the first reason, is because you don't know how to dress.
Right.
Now, you might not think, what does that got to do with me finding a man? Well, telling you from man's standpoint, the way you dress is the way that we see you.
Right.
And just like women be fantasizing and mine go from what's your name to 5 kids and a white picket fence. Same thing with a man. He be thinking about stuff in the future, but when he see you dressed out of order, his mind goes from what's your name to the weekend.
Right. I might go to straight fulfilling that fantasy.
Hey.
You become a fantasy.
That's it. That's it. Hey, let's go back to the article and let's see. Scroll down. That ain't Fantasia.
Hope not.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, read that.
Go back up.
That's it right there.
Fantasia. Barrino's life has endured quite a few ups and downs, many of which occurred before she stepped into the spotlight in 2004 on American Idol. Her career, along with her love life, has experienced hills and valleys, but the married mother of 2 is back with new music and a fresh outlook on life.
All right.
The 35-year-old recently sat down with the Breakfast Club to talk about her highs and lows, and the conversation turned into a discourse about relationships. Fantasia believes that there are too many women who are trying to take on the man's role.
Dang.
Read on.
That's why they mad at her.
Yeah. Read on.
When they should yield and submit to their partner.
Scroll down to the video. Let's hear her say it for herself. Exit little box out over there, and let's scroll down. Scroll up some so we can see what it says. It says, Fantasia says some women can't find a man because they're trying to be the leader. And I'll tell you this, if you do got a man and you got problems within your relationship, which should be a marriage, reason why you got so many problems is because you trying to be the man.
That's right.
You try to fight him tooth and nail for your women independent feminist rights that you try to exercise in the household. It just ain't working. It just ain't working. So let's play the video. Let's see what she got to say. Play that video for us.
Make sure the volume is up.
Video. Where we at?
You know what I mean? We need more men to stand up and lead the way. Most women are trying to be the leader. That's why you can't find a man. You can't be the king in the house. Fall back and be the queen and let your man lead the way. So I salute you for that.
What does that mean? You can't be a leader? Because a lot of women look at it like, no, I
here we go.
Household. I could do this in my household. What does that mean?
That's not how it's supposed to be. And that's why we bump heads. And I feel like it's a generational thing.
Pause it.
We can talk. We can go real deep.
Pause
right there. She knows
Come
something.
on, man. Where you at?
Hey, she knows something. She said we can go real deep.
I want to let you know now. I know a little bit of Fantasia's backstory, her history. She's from North Carolina, so she grew up in the country. And in the hood. And I think she might have been, her grandma was a lot in her life. So she when she said generational gap, she understands that women being ratchet like this, trying to lead and be out here in the forefront, and I wear the pants, and you can't tell me nothing 50-50. That stuff is a new thing on the earth because her grandparents, her great-grandparents, and great-great-grandparents, the mothers and wives didn't roll like that. That wasn't even a thought in their head. Even when the black man was down and oppressed, going through Jim Crow and black codes and civil rights era, the black woman and the Hispanic woman, they were behind their man. They were trusting in them and being that helpmeet that God created them to be. Exactly. And they stayed within that role. And guess what? During that time, you can look up the statistics. It was less fatherless households.
Right. Children being born out of wedlock.
Yep.
Less of that happening.
Yep.
And also during that time when the man got weary and wanted to quit, the wife said, "No, you're not quitting because your daughter's depending on you.
Yeah.
Your son is depending on you. The
Right.
nation is depending on you. We depending on you."
Hey, that's a good point, heavy point you bring out right there, officer. Now, because a lot of women be like, ain't no man telling me, lead me what to do. You want to be strong in all the wrong ways.
Right.
Be strong in that way. Encourage your black man that is facing all kind of systemic racism and oppression. Every time he leave his front doors and the comfort of his home, he got to take on this world of everybody that hates him for who he is and who he will become. Be a strong woman and encourage him like that. If you really a strong black woman, do that.
Yeah, because you got to understand, the feminist movement has crept in. It has a main target now.
Turn our mics up.
Blacks and Hispanic women is now the main target. It's been since way back then, but now it's intensified.
Yeah.
They already laid their eggs now, and that's exactly what you see.
Yep.
All right, now you see the women dressed out of order.
Yep.
They're their own boss. You hear
You
terms,
can't tell me what to wear.
She bosses now. She boss.
Yep.
That's the new term. She bosses now. They run it, right? The queen bees. They running it now.
And she's right when she said that, man. It's a generational gap. That's a new thing on the earth. Your grandmothers weren't like it, and your grandmothers, talking about your great-grandmas, because some of y'all grandmas is like 41. And they ratchet themselves. I'm talking about Big Mama grandma.
Big Mama.
They didn't raise you like that.
Nah.
You didn't see that out of the household with them. They was, Grandpa was in the house and they might not have got along, but when Grandpa said something, it went down that way.
Down. Oh, you better believe it.
It didn't go outside of order there. So it's definitely a generational gap, and it's a whole lot of factors of why it has played out that way. But we can't use that as an excuse. Cannot use that excuse because it's doing nothing but destroying us as a nation. You got anything?
No, I wanted to play some more of a talk.
Yeah, go back to the video. Because she said we can get.
I don't need to start that, but it's a generational curse, and how society have placed our men, and women have to stand up and be the mother and the father and the provider, and so then now you are so bad, you can't be told nothing, that when the right man come, you lose him because you trying to be the man. I was gonna say.
You trying to be the nigga.
Can we be equal?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Oh, of course. Because at the end of the day, I'm the neck, my man's the head. So he can't make any moves without his wife. You know what I mean? It all works together.
That's a heavy point right there. It all works together. Hey, let me back it up.
But he the head.
1 Corinthians. Go to 1 Corinthians. Let me show you. She's now we're gonna play another video.
That went over a lot of people's heads just now.
Yeah.
What they heard just now is, okay, I can still be the head honcho in charge.
Yeah.
That's not what the sister just said.
Nah, it ain't what she said. Nah, ain't at all. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11. Let's read verse 8. Let's read. Well, no, what? We're going to start at verse 7. Let's start at verse 7 to show. So we're going to put a biblical context behind it, give you the understanding of what she was saying in a carnal sense. Read that. 1 Corinthians 11 and 7.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of God.
Now I want to stop right there and let people know that the man is made in the image and the glory of God, not you women.
Right.
Women be like, "Oh, I'm made in the image of God." No, you're not.
Sister.
Right.
You're made in the image of the man. We are made in the image of God.
That's right.
So get that straight right now in your head. That'll change a whole lot once you understand he's made in the image of God, not me. Go ahead.
But the woman is the glory of the man.
But our women is the glory. And we Israelites, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we got a lot to glory about when it comes to these women. Ain't nobody like an Israelite woman on the face of the earth.
In submission.
When she's in submission.
In submission.
I'm pulling scripture. But ain't no woman like her on the face of the earth. That's why everybody want her. Everybody want her features. Everybody want her complexion. Everybody want her lips.
Right.
They love her hair. That's why they be trying to touch your hair. Well, you ain't got it. Let me go this way. They be trying to touch your hair in the workplace when they see it. You already catch the first?
Matthew 18.
You go Matthew 18? Hey, but
just praying fast for
it ain't nobody like you on the face of the earth. So God says you are our glory. Go ahead.
For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man.
Going back to Genesis means you came from us. Go ahead.
Neither was the man created for the woman.
We not made to worship you. Go ahead.
But the woman for the man.
You were made to be our helpmeet. So what she's going into the neck and the head analogy, she's correct, but she missing the biblical scripture behind
that's
it.
all. Right.
That's it. You know, so when it says neither the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man, you are made to help us make decisions.
Right.
That is your job. It's especially if you're a godly, wise woman and you speak with the words of the Bible. A godly man is going to open his ears and his spiritual eyes, and he's going to take into consideration what you are saying. But at the end of the day, guess whose choice it is to make that final decision? It's the man. Right. And a lot of black women got a problem with that. If it ain't her way, it's going to be hell in the house.
Right. Hell to pay.
Hell to pay. And if you get out of line too much, I'm going to call my real man.
Right.
And I know his number by heart. You do too. It's 911.
How about that?
Ooh, damn.
Yeah.
Hey, remember, they don't have a
real
problem.
man.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Not only they have a problem with the men in the house, but they have a problem with God.
Yeah.
Right.
When you see these women out of order and they get uproot and they hate when you hear we use the term men being the head, they have a problem with God.
Yeah.
So these sisters or whoever have an issue with that, you don't have a problem. You have a problem with the word of God.
That's what it goes back to at the end of the day, because it said the man is made in the image of the glory of God. So if you got a problem with him leading you, you actually got a problem with God leading you.
Right.
The only difference is that God ain't down here in the flesh in your face.
Right.
But if he was, you ratchet black would be like, no, I'm married to Jesus. I do what God tell me to do. Well, hell, half the time in your marriage, you're giving your man problems. You give Jesus problems.
Right. Hey, let me get Isaiah 3. Let me get Isaiah 3 and 12. What's up?
Bring it out.
Go ahead. I'm
You got it? Oh, you got something?
Nah, I got something.
Let me get Isaiah 3 and 12, bro. And that's heavy, though. You won't submit to a man, but you think when Christ comes back, you're going to submit to him.
Right. You give Jesus problems. You get on Jesus' nerves.
Right.
Go ahead, bro. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12.
Bring it out.
As for my people, children are their oppressors.
Children oppress us, the gangs, the violence, read.
And women
And the black single woman
rule over them.
Watch this. Go ahead.
O my people.
O ye Israelites. Go ahead.
They which lead thee.
They that lead thee, meaning to be the lead, you got to be the head. The head of those, the head of the children, read.
Cause thee to err.
Read.
And destroy the way of thy paths.
God says that it's impossible for a Israelite woman to lead by herself. She can't lead at all.
You're not made
to lead. And God says that the reason why there's sin, why our children are in jail, why they strung out on dope, why they murderers, why they rapists, is because the black woman want to be the leader.
Hey, that's a heavy point that you bring out. Now, let's be real, because this is FCN. This is where the truth speaks. We ain't going to sugarcoat nothing for you women. We ain't going to sugarcoat nothing for you. If the black woman was such a good leader,
bring it out.
Why is the black community toe up from the floor up?
Bring it out.
Why? You want to lead so damn bad. If you was doing a good job at leading, the black community would not be in shambles the way it is right now.
Because what they say is all the black men are gone, right?
Yep.
They either left
in jail,
dead somewhere else, right? So that leads them
to be the leader.
Yep. So they can't blame the problems of our neighborhoods on the black man not being there.
If they say I can lead and do a good job at it, well, don't blame the black man that's not there. Then
he ain't there.
So obviously that means that you need that black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man to lead.
Hey, there's no such thing as a strong black woman.
Nope.
Only weak black men.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Well, what makes you strong is men being weak.
Right.
Right.
Hey, all praises. All praises. Hey, pull this for me. Get Sirach chapter 33 and start from verse 18. Because women, you have to understand, you have a position to play. God made you to be a helpmeet. You was always second in charge. Like Captain Severus always say, I'm CEO, you CFO.
Right.
All right, so think about this, right? Because you want to lead and everything, but say if a man breaks into the house.
Right.
Oh, that's the time I have to get up.
Right. Right. Get up, go check it though.
Right.
I'm like, hell no, you a strong black woman.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, wake me up when he gone.
Right. You don't do that. So you know your position. When your life threatened, you know who's the leader. You know who's the protector.
Exactly.
You know who's the provider. Watch this. Read that.
Sirach chapter 33 and verse 18. Hear me, O ye great men of the people.
No, great women of the people.
Great men of the people.
Read on.
And hearken with your ears, ye rulers of the congregation.
The rulers of the congregation always been the men in the Bible.
That's right.
Watch this. Read.
Give not thy son and wife.
What?
Give not thy son and wife.
Read.
Thy brother and friend.
Read.
Power over thee.
We're ordered to rule. It is what it is. That's why we bumping heads. You trying to get my position.
Yeah.
God says he ordered me to rule. Right.
It's never gonna happen.
It's never gonna happen.
It's just like two lions.
Right.
You put two pit bulls. Is it like two pit bulls fighting for the chicken to eat?
Right.
The female dog on the outside of the cage, two pit bulls in the same house fighting for that dog. They gonna kill each other.
Yeah. Watch this. Finish it off. Watch this.
Give not thy son and wife, thy brother and friend, power over thee while thou livest.
Read.
And give not thy goods to another, lest it repent thee, and thou entreat for the same again.
So when we look at our community, we men repented like, damn.
Yeah.
Because of our fall, this is what our community looks like.
Yep.
So we understand if the men is not ruling, this is how our community will always look like and stay like if we don't get in our rightful role.
That's right. That's right.
Now watch this. This is for you
but
sisters.
You know what though? Fantasia getting backlash for this, that lets you know it's spiritual.
That's right.
Because
there you go.
Israelites,
bring it out.
The black woman loved Fantasia.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Loved her to death.
Yeah.
See you.
They loved her. I mean, she was loved. She went through a mental issue.
Right.
Yeah. She came back on top. She got met. She was loved. Hell, even if she did church music and everything.
Yeah, they loved it.
She was loved. But as soon as she say the reason why you don't have a man is because you don't submit, now she's hated. That lets you know that is spiritual.
And Cap, you know what else that lets you know? They don't really love us black men.
Nah, they don't.
Ooh, bring it out.
They hate us.
Because they wouldn't say that. They wouldn't say that if it was John, Tom, Bob.
Oh, hell no.
Alex,
Brady,
Hunter.
Oh,
right.
no, it's
Yeah, bring it out.
Oh no! Oh yes, lead me, white man,
Right.
lead me. I don't need 50%. You can take all 99.9% of it. Take it, cause you got good credit. I'll fall in line.
Let me get a script real quick. Go to Amos 5. Amos 5 and 10.
Bring it out.
That's crazy.
Amos 5 and 10, because you said something key, Cap. She is hated. This is spiritual. Every time our mouth opens and the words of God come out, guess what happens?
Bring it out.
Immediate oppression. Satan automatically gets offended. Watch this.
Amos chapter 5 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
They hate him that rebuketh in the gate.
They do what?
They hate him that rebuketh in the gate.
And we see it all the time. We out on the streets teaching. We could be anywhere. The words of God come out. Wisdom begin to come out immediately. Those who getting cut, no, we don't like that.
What Bible is that?
What the?
Right.
Who's not the platform for it?
Who she thinks she is?
Right.
And you know they do. They bring up all the bad relationships she had in her life.
Yeah.
Who she thinks?
Look at her. She got 2 kids by another man. She don't know what she's talking about. Well, she does now.
Right.
She sure the hell does now.
Hey, one more script, Cap.
Go ahead.
One more script. Give me Sirach chapter 25 and verse 16.
Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 16.
Because her comment was that you guys can't get a man. Y'all cannot get a man, and this is why. Watch this. Listen up.
Sirach, chapter 25, verse 16. I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman.
Well, it's going to get deep as we read along, but he'd rather fight a lion and a dragon at the same time than to deal with your black behind. Watch this.
Hey, hold on. Hey, you know where them lions and dragons at? In prisons.
Right.
I'd rather go to prison than deal with your nasty, dirty, disrespectful, loud mouth, chitlin, eating college.
It's about to come out,
hold on, wait a minute. Hot sausage and pig feet. Pork chop cooking. Go ahead, bro.
Watch this. Read on. Read on.
The wickedness of a woman changeth her face, and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth.
You know when you done push the wrong button, you look the other way like, please don't blow up here. Wait till we get to the house before you say anything. You're going to make our house look like a shame. Like, oh, damn.
Like, nigga, wait till we get it
right. Watch this. Keep reading.
Her husband shall sit among his neighbors.
He'll be with the boys. Yeah, kicking it. Yeah. Read.
And when he heareth it, he shall sigh bitterly.
And you heard what your wife just did just now.
No, that was your wife?
Damn.
What she just did just now.
What's that?
And you just like.
Damn. What she done did now.
Right. Don't bind her, y'all. Y'all know how she is. That's what she did.
The Lord dealing with her, y'all.
Now, this the worst part of it. Jump down to verse 20.
Verse 20. As the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged.
An old man climbing up a sandy mountain. You know how hard it is to walk on the beach, try to run on the beach?
Yep.
You see how tough it is. But imagine if an old man is trying to climb up a sandy hill. He's giving you that same reference on how the black man comes home and how the woman treats him. Watch, just read it from the top again.
As the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man.
I just did a 9 to 5. I come home and the first thing I hear, woman, just let me take off my shoes before I go home. At least let me use the bathroom.
Hey, you know what that means? That means that this brother can never defeat this woman.
Right.
Her words are so much. Just how the old man can never overcome that sandy hill, but he just keep trying and get knocked back down. That's the same way a loudmouth woman treats a quiet husband.
You know what happens? You know what? He can't defeat the mouth of that unsubmissive woman until he eventually does what? He leaves.
Yeah,
right.
Leaves.
And then what happens after that? He gets labeled as you're a weak, you're a deadbeat, you're a weak black man. You can't handle a strong black woman. No. We can handle strong black women.
Right.
We can't handle dragons and lions.
Bring it out.
That's what we cannot handle.
Bring it out.
Dragons and lions is what we can't. Who can defeat a damn lion and a dragon? Ain't none of us David up here in the flesh. We can't defeat a lion. Hey, go to Ephesians 5 and I'll read 21 through 24 real quick because this is what she was talking about. And we're going to play the next video to show you where she got it from. Read that Ephesians 5, 21 through 24 real quick.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 21. Submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God.
See, women read it. Oh, see, you man, you got to submit to us also. No, see that key point? It says in the fear of the God, in the fear of God. That means keeping his laws. And the laws that God gave a man is that you rule your house.
That's right.
That's how we submit to you, is by leading you.
Right.
Because if we didn't do our job of leading you, we would have what we have now. Broken homes everywhere and baby daddies. So we submit ourselves to you by leading you and telling you, woman, fall the hell in line. Be quiet.
Right.
I follow Christ, and as Christ follows God, you follow me.
Bring it out.
Read on.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
Hold on, wives do what?
Submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
So that means if you got a problem with what Fantasia says, you really got a problem with God. Because all she's doing is quoting the Bible. So that means that all you Christian women out there that say, I'm an independent, strong black woman, and I could do bad all by myself.
Right.
That means you really don't believe in this Bible.
That's really hate God.
You don't really believe in God.
Right.
Now, we're not talking about submitting to a Negro selling drugs on the corner.
not at all.
Abusive man. We're talking about a godly man that wants to do right.
Bring it out.
You got a problem submitting with him and falling in line? You don't truly believe in God.
They only submit to Caesar Bourget.
That's it.
There was a time where the man can go to work, be tired, get his back broke, come home, the house is completely quiet. Why? Because the wife told the kids to shut the hell up, go to the room. You give your daddy at least an hour before you ask him any questions.
Yeah.
So he can just relax. But
Hey, you know what's crazy, officer? That ain't heard of today.
No.
Sister be home all day.
Kids
as
be
soon as
everywhere.
kids be in chaos. Soon as the daddy get home, the mama say, "Thank God."
Yeah, go to
you
your daddy.
deal with him.
It's your
Go
turn
to your daddy
You
now.
deal with him now.
Right.
Like, damn, I'm just getting home.
Bring it
Can
out.
I untie my shoelaces?
Hey, read verse 23, 24 real quick.
Verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church.
Same way Christ leads the Israelites, the man's supposed to lead the woman. And that ain't going to change. God didn't send, he sent his son, and then, he said, you know what? I'm going to send another son and another son and another son,
Right.
and y'all choose whoever y'all want to follow.
Right.
No, he sent one son
Right.
one time
Right.
to do his will, and everybody is to follow what he says. What it says in Peter, it says, I will send a prophet in my name, and all the words that he says, follow them. Go ahead.
And
Verse
he
24.
is the savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
In what?
In everything.
So sisters, Fantasia's right.
Yeah, she's right.
God told you first before Fantasia opened her mouth, be subject to your husband in everything.
That's right.
So you sisters out there that got boyfriends and boo things, side pieces,
Jump off.
Sugar daddy.
You're out of order in the first place. You're
Right.
out of order off top. That
That
man's
is-
supposed to be your husband, or you ain't supposed to deal with him at all.
Right. Hey, you know what's crazy, Cap? She's actually given Israelite women, black women who got a reputation of being single mothers.
Yeah.
She's giving them the blueprint
Right. Bring it
to
out.
success.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and she was one of you.
Yep.
Right.
She was living that life.
Yep.
And she giving you the blueprint. Why? Because it's proven that it works.
It works. It works.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is submit to your husband and you will be okay.
You know what they gonna say? Nah, it's because she has money. That's why.
Yeah.
Nah, because all our wives submit unto us.
That's right.
And we're not rich. And we're not rich. It's because they see the God in us. They see the application.
What's that Dave Chappelle said? Nigga, I'm broke.
For real.
Broke, nigga, broke. Hey, go to that next video. Hey, to show you where she get it from, though. Y'all gonna be shocked where she got this from. Play this. So that's her
There you
husband
go.
right there, right?
There you go.
Now listen to how he speaks. Listen to how he speaks now. Play that video.
Okay. So, we talk a lot. I just got home. He just got home. We were in New York for Fashion Week, and then he had to fly out to go speak at the prisons.
So he
and
got a
I had to
job.
continue to keep working. So I went up to the Breakfast Club, and I enjoyed it. And
Proud of you too.
thanks, babe. We were just wrapping it up and talking, and I was speaking. Yeah. So when I got back home, he had kind of said something that piggybacked off what I was saying, and I thought it was so dope coming from the male perspective that I felt like the male and the female should hear. So
here's the issue. Submission is supposed to be a beautiful song and dance between two lovers. What's happened is men have abused that power. Forgive me, they've abused that gift. And we have been misled to think that it's something where it's a dominant spirit and we own every decision, we dictate everything, we rule with an iron fist. First of all, that's not love. What happens is, in my marriage, let me not speak for everybody, my marriage, I submit daily to the Most High. I stay in my scriptures.
Pause it.
That brother knows something.
Right, he knows something. He got a beard.
Who talks like that?
Only Israelites talk like
Who
that.
talks
Only
like
Israelites.
that?
Only the Israelites talk like that. I ain't never heard TD Jakes say nothing like that.
Right.
I submit to the Most High.
And I stay daily in my scripts. Don't nobody else talk like that.
Sound like a show in the
A
scripts.
true godly man.
That's
a
right.
godly
Start
man.
studying.
He's going to give praises to the Most High in all that he does.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
a real godly man draws strength from where? The scriptures.
Yep. And he knows how to lead his household through the scriptures.
There we go.
So you see where and it goes on for a little while after that, but you see where he says, I submit to the Most High and I'm in my scripts daily.
Hey, you know what I like? I like the fact that when he's talking, she don't open her mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Right.
quiet.
Oh,
Woo!
No
That's
cut
beautiful.
off,
That's a
none of
beautiful
that.
thing.
Yeah.
Damn. You trying to explain something? Hey, you know what I don't like? I'm a veer off.
Okay, get the violin.
Get the violin.
Get the violin right now.
Hey, you know about one of my pet peeves, and I'm pretty sure it's one of y'all too. And when you're trying to explain something to somebody, and your wife there, and you stumbling over the words, and she know how to explain it better than you.
I got it.
But then she try to butt in. Woman, be quiet. Let the words come to me. All right.
Hey, go to Sirach 36 and 22, because he's like, it's a song you dance, man have abused it. You're right, because some men don't know how to lead the household. The only way that a man is going to learn how to lead the household in a godly manner is you have to come to the Most High. You got to know you're an Israelite, because it's the only way you're going to learn how to do. If you go to Christianity, go to Creflo Church and try to learn how to lead the house.
Try to get
Go ahead, do it. I dare you. You're gonna be in council with the 52nd assistant deacon pastor, because you ain't never gonna talk to Creflo.
Never.
Hey, read that Sirach 36, read 22 through 25.
Bring it out.
Sirach chapter 36, verse 22.
Bring it
The beauty of a woman cheereth the countenance, and a man loveth nothing better.
So a man loves his wife to look good. We definitely for that. Go ahead.
If there be kindness.
If there be kindness. That's the thing that a lot of black women, Hispanic women got to learn. Kindness. Be kind to somebody other than your daggone baby. And half the time you ain't kind to your baby because you're leaving with the grandma and go out to the club.
Right.
Ostrich.
Bring it out.
You leave him in front of the TV while you go do you. That ain't being kind. Go ahead.
If there be kindness, meekness, and comfort in her tongue.
Comfort in her tongue. That's you strengthening your black man that might, whenever he needed, that's kindness in your tongue. That's comfort in your tongue. You can do it, babe. I'm behind you here. Hey, you know what? I got something to help you out. Here's the idea. If you want to do it.
Make you want to come home early.
If you think it's
The
good.
decision's yours.
It's yours. If you think it's good to go with, here's an idea for you.
Okay.
But it's up to you.
It's up to you.
And then you fall back.
And then walk away.
Listen.
It's up to you.
Listen, we had our forefathers. Now listen, someone who is woke spiritually, they knew how our foremothers ran. Look at Esther.
Yep.
It was the lips of kindness that moved the king's heart.
Yep, to save her
avenge-
nation.
There you go.
Yep.
You had Abigail. Abigail, who saved her whole house
Right.
from the wrath of King David.
Yep. You
Come
got
on, how? Because of
Judith.
the way she talked.
Judith opened her
Words of
mouth with
kindness.
wisdom and kindness and
I
did
will
what?
say.
Saved her
Saved the
nation.
nation.
But it's far too many times why a lot of black women got a problem with what Fantasia said because they ain't worried about nobody but they self.
It's selfish.
That's it.
That's great. Hold on.
And they in not Creflo. Yeah, Creflo Church. Bishop brought out a video earlier today. He said Jesus only and nothing else. No prayer, no fasting.
Just
no,
believe.
Nothing.
Your wife ain't got to submit. Nothing. Just Jesus.
It's just a magic pill.
Just
Jesus is
is
a magic
that.
pill.
He said,
Pop a little Jesus.
he said if you
make all your
gotta,
problems go away.
if you gotta pray, then Jesus is not enough.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, wow. If you gotta repent,
Who said
Jesus
that?
is Creflo.
Yeah, he said that.
Hey, read verse
gone.
23, man.
23, yo.
Verse 23.
That nigga's
If
gone.
there be kindness, meekness, and comfort in her tongue, then is not her husband like other men.
He don't abuse the power that he got.
Right.
Her husband is not like other men. He's not going to treat you like these Negroes out on the street.
That's
He's
right.
not going to abuse the authority that
Bring it
God
out.
gave him in the house. He's not like other men, but you got to be kind. You got to be meek, and you got to have some comfort in your tongue.
Right. And you know what? And even in the truth, sisters say brothers abuse the authority. A brother wouldn't abuse his authority if you would just give him the authority.
Woo!
A brother wouldn't have to abuse
Ching,
it.
ching,
Right. Bring it out.
You know what
Bring
you
it
just
out.
said? Because when you look at the so-called white man, right? They have they used to bring their daughters. They learned that from us, of course, from royalty. Etiquette classes.
Yeah.
They'll put them through etiquette classes to learn how to serve the men.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened.
It's just like the Coming to America scene when the sister said, I was born to serve you.
Right.
Whatever you want to do.
Like.
And he's like, what? So he bucked like a dog.
Coming to America.
Nah, you know what? I don't want you. I want to go to New York. And look what he went to. He went to America.
I want a woman that thinks for herself.
He went to America to find a black, strong-minded mentality. I can do it by myself. I don't need you, nigga. He went to New York, America.
That's crazy. Damn. Hey, read verse 24 and 25.
Verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
Because she's yours. Now it's your turn, your job to mold her into the woman of God that she should be. Go ahead.
A help like unto himself.
She's a what?
A help like unto himself.
Like the brother said, it's a song and dance. She's a help just like you. She is made to make you go further and do greater things. She's to help you do that. Go ahead.
And a pillar of rest.
Stress.
Ooh. Read it again, brother.
Pillar of rest.
She's a test.
A pillar of rest.
She's a strong black woman you got to overcome.
A pillar of rest.
She's a strong black woman that you got to learn how to tame.
A pillar of rest.
That's saith the Lord, sisters. That's your job.
Precept.
To be a pillar of rest. Read verse 25 now.
Where no hedge is.
Where a single mama is. Where a strong, independent black woman is. Where I can do bad all by myself woman is. Read on.
There the possession is spoiled.
You are ruined. God said you ruined. You wouldn't give your baby, it's for the women out there that can do it all by themselves. You wouldn't give your baby no spoiled milk, would you? Because you know it's bad for them. So God says if you ain't got a man to be a hedge and protect you and guide and lead you that you can submit to, you will ruin yourself.
Right. Hey, you said some heavy, Cap. You said some heavy. If a brother has to fight to overcome you,
and
you wicked as hell.
Yeah.
Bring it if the brother not only got to overcome sin, but he got to overcome his wife.
Wow.
Damn. You wicked as hell.
Cap said something heavy earlier. He said if you're like that as a woman, you don't believe in God, right? 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 5. 1 Peter 3 and 5.
Last one before we go to the next video. We're going to the next video after this. Go ahead.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also.
Hold on, you got to read that slow, brother. Read that again.
For after this manner in the old time, the holy women
also,
who trusted in God.
Whoa. Hold up.
Miss Omi.
You cooking right there,
Hey, this scripture about to tell you if you believe in God,
Bring it out.
If you are holy, sanctified, and washed in the blood of Jesus. Hey, if you are a wife,
down with the Spirit, slay it in the Spirit.
Hey, where did you get that crap? Slaying in the Spirit.
Hey, anyway, hey, if you are a wife and you don't present these attributes that's about to come up of the holy women of old time that believed in God, you not nothing. You're not believing in God. You don't believe in the scriptures.
Right.
Read.
For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also, who trusted in God, adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands.
Hey,
that's heavy.
So if you don't submit to your husband,
you don't believe in God.
You don't believe in God.
No matter what.
There you go. You don't trust in him, therefore you don't believe in God.
No matter what comes out of your mouth, God weighs your actions. If you truly believe and trust in him, then you'll fall in line with that man that he put over you.
Right.
That godly man.
Right.
That God, hey, I like what you just said. that God put over you.
Because that godly man is going to marry your behind.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Right. You ain't gonna wait 6 years.
He gonna marry your loud
your life
mouth.
to be diminished.
Your loud mouth, rebellious.
You got 3 kids, babe. He still don't want to marry you.
Just dragging you along.
Hey, play that next video. This is who not to take advice from. Play the next video.
Wait a minute.
Then we go to commercial, y'all.
Ostrich alert. Ostrich alert.
Hey, somebody said we need to coin
Is that what an ostrich sound like?
I don't know.
I don't know.
The ostrich alert sound like the Israelite woman
This show
sometimes. Sometimes.
Play that video.
Ow!
Go back on it. Go back on it.
This is the Breakfast Club yesterday. We love the Breakfast Club. She talked about everything from her career to her new love life, but it was the 35-year-old's advice for single women that got everyone talking. Check it out.
Most women are trying to be the leader. That's why you can't find a man. You can't be the king in the house. Fall back and be the queen and let your man lead the way. It's a generational curse.
That's right.
And how society have placed our men. And women have to stand up and be the mother and the father and the provider. And so then now you are so bad, you can't be told nothing, that when the right man come, you lose him because you're trying to be the man.
So, ladies, you agree with Fantasia that women should be following the leader?
I disagree because there's 2 ways. There's 2 reasons why. I understand what she's saying in that in a relationship, it really works out better to me to be healthier when 2 people know their purpose and their roles in the relationship. So I'm coming to I'm gonna help. I'm gonna work because you're having a baby, so I'm gonna make sure to bring home some cheddar. You just help me get fed if anything, or help me take care of the baby. But I don't think it's right to stay in traditional definitions of what the roles are. A king doesn't always have to lead.
Pause it. They look. Go back to her picture. Look, they fled. Look. I'm telling you, Esau knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
They went to the black woman.
They went to the darkest, chocolate woman in the doggone audience.
That's not by mistake, y'all. They want to enforce that whole the traditional role. No, I ain't for that. They flash right to the black woman
She
to
eating it
put
up.
that image in your mind. Like, yep, see, you right, girl. We shouldn't be adhering to the old standards. You know what? You just read it. 1 Peter 3. It said the women of the manner of old time, holy women.
The traditional.
Yeah,
traditional.
Traditional.
Right.
Find me some holy women that has walked the face of the earth, except when God put his spirit back on the earth and Israelite women started to repent once again. What no damn holy women? Mother Teresa ain't holy.
Right.
And she's not speaking up for the nation of Israel. You have to understand that she's not going through the turmoils, the circumstances, the black man, the black woman is dealing with.
Ain't she Moab? She Moab? What is she?
Yeah, she Moab.
She can't speak for our people.
Chinese American.
You know what empowers her is Babylon the Great.
Yes, best believe it.
That's all she teaching right now is Babylon the Great. And most of those women, that panel of women right now, what's empowering them is America.
Hey, how dare they choose a Moabite to speak first on an Israelite subject?
Right.
How dare you?
It's by design, y'all.
You should be slapped. They went straight to the Moabite first.
Yep.
Right.
To give her own opinion.
And the woman that she's describing, you read about her in the Bible. Her name is Jezebel.
Right.
Bring it up.
That's who she's describing.
Right.
She's describing the Jezebel woman in the Bible. And do whatever they want to, say whatever they want to, and whatever.
Right.
And Moab still goes on with their traditions, so I don't even know what she's talking about.
They'll wear that little, what's that thing called? The gi. They'll wear that. And they'll be fully submissive to their men.
Right.
But for you to come over here popping that garbage, you know what that is. That's Babylon the Great.
Right.
Believe it. Hey, let's go to Jeremiah 6:16. I found it. There we go. I knew it was a 16 in there. Now look at it. She said the traditional ways, right? Let's see what God says about how a man and a woman, their roles should be. Read that. Jeremiah 6 and let's read 16.
Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 16.
Yep.
Bring it out.
Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways.
The ways is meaning stand there and listen to the prophets speak the word of God to you. Go ahead.
And see.
And
ask for the old path.
God said do what?
Ask for the old path.
God said you new millennials that want to do this new way and change the roles of man and woman in a marriage,
Bring it out.
you are crazy. You are destroying the sanctity of marriage. You are destroying your own household because you want to be progressive. You want to lead when God didn't tell you to lead. Now, we not like we said, disclaimer, we're not saying that you're not supposed to help him. You're supposed to help him and be a pillar of rest. But when it comes to leading, God said, let the man do it because he's dealing with him on a different level that he's dealing with you. So God said, as for the old paths, read on.
Where is the good way?
The old way's the good way. Go ahead.
And walk therein.
And fall the hell in line. Go ahead.
And ye shall find rest for your souls.
You gonna do what?
Find rest for your souls.
All you baby mamas that want a little bit of rest from having to be the mama and the daddy and the uncle. Take the kids here. Discipline the kid. God said, ask for the old paths of how to be a wife. How to be a woman, how to be his daughter, and you'll find rest to your souls. But if you keep following the ways of America and Babylon the Great, you will never find rest. You're going to be forever tired and just wore out and just want it all be over with.
Right.
She married a black rapper too.
Who did?
A mumble rapper, that Mobite.
Did she?
She is.
Oh,
I don't think she married her, but
she messing with him.
There you go.
He probably let her rule.
There you go.
He probably let her rule. But
There
God
you go.
says, and ye shall find rest to your souls. Read on.
But they said.
The black woman said, oh, no, not my Jesus.
Right.
Read on.
We will not walk therein.
Ain't no nigga gonna tell me what to do.
Bring it out.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. I'm my own independent woman. Look at all my degrees. Look at all the money that I make. He can't tell me what to do because I make more money than him. If that's your thought as a woman, an Israelite woman, you wicked as hell. For real. Woo. Bring it out. Because the God set up the divine order. It was never based on money. How much money he got?
Right.
No.
Never, ever.
If he's a godly man and he is trying to do the will of God, God says, you better fall in line, woman, so you can have rest to your soul.
Hey, let me get Job 8 and 8 real quick.
Bring it out.
Just the lamb back. Lamb back. Get Job 8 and 8. Read that.
Job chapter 8 and verse 8.
Come on.
Bring it out. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age.
Of the traditional ways, read.
And prepare thyself to the search of their fathers.
Watch this. Keep reading. Watch this.
For we are but of yesterday and know nothing, because our days upon earth are a shadow.
Wow. Watch verse 10.
Shall not they teach thee?
Read that again.
Shall not they teach thee?
Your foremothers should be teaching you. Sarah, Abigail, Judith, Rebecca, they ought to teach you.
Right.
That's why the Lord said, inquire, I pray of thee, the former age, the traditional way. Now read verse 9 again.
For we are but of yesterday.
Watch this.
And know nothing.
And what?
And know nothing.
God says you don't know a doggone thing.
Right.
That's why you got to learn
Bring it
from
out.
your foremothers.
That's right.
Because you don't know nothing.
Bring it out. That's a panel of women that don't know nothing.
Nothing.
They don't know what it means to have a honorable marriage. That's exactly what you're listening to.
Right. And they'll profess to be godliness. They'll profess to be godly women. So you could do all things through Christ who strengthens you, but you can't submit to your husband.
Ooh, hey, with that, we going to a commercial break. Stay tuned right here on FCN, where the truth speaks.
Four Corner News, where truth speaks.
You know, the scripture said the husband is to provide sex, food, shelter, clothing. 4 things, right? Mm-hmm. Sex, food,
duty of marriage,
shelter. Yeah, the sex is the duty of marriage. Duty of marriage, clothing, shelter, food. Sister, you see those 4 things? Let me put it. Where's the camera at? Where's the camera? You see those 4 things? Sex, food, shelter, clothing. Anything after those 4 things is extra. Yep. Get your mind. Hey. Get your mind around this. Anything after those 4 things is extra. If you want a $500 Gucci bag, get a job.
What about a $300 wig?
Huh?
What about a $300 wig?
Get a job.
What about a $450 purse?
Get a job.
What about a $50 cell phone bill?
Get a job. Anything else? Anything else, Solomon?
I'm scared to say so.
Anything else? Yes.
Four Corner News, where truth speaks.
Chicago surpasses the death toll of many of these mass shootings combined and do not get the same coverage. And that's another issue that people are saying that when you came and you did this did not get any coverage in the main media.
Yeah, it's a blackout when them blacks out. And we ain't even bring the max out. Every hood, every street are getting packed out. All across the world, we the ones they ask about. Turn to every channel, I ain't seen nothing. But it's all good though. We know what that's about. They try to hit us with the blackout. We threw a viral with a spiral. Though he's playing, now we fighting fire with the fire. The dragon raw, cause we causing all this racket. But we in different brackets, cause every march is madness. I see it, guys, but I ain't see a thing on CNN. And CHI might be something they never see again. Fake news being fake, man. The streets, we made it quake. The army exceeding great, man. You should have seen they face. It's a blackout. Yeah, it's a blackout when them blacks out. And we ain't even bring the max out. Every hood, every street are getting packed out. All across the world, we the ones they ask about.
What is that about? Maybe if we set up shop in the trap house, or maybe if we flexed on them with them racks out, would've got the coverage like we ran a route. Fox was sly, CBS closed they eye. We can't be hid with this tower up in the sky. Not built on sand, not built by man, no marching band, no Drake. This is really God's plan. It's a blackout. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a blackout when them blacks out. And we ain't even bring the max out. Every hood, every street are getting packed out. All across the world, we the ones they ask about. It's a blackout. It's a blackout. We know what that's about. They try to hit us with the blackout. It's a blackout. Yeah. It's a blackout.
Let me get on one more time.
We know what that's about.
We up next, we blessed, we the best. Revolution will be streamed on the internet. Gotta wake up, Jacob, here to do nothing less. Princes of the power back, God in the flesh.
This is man, this is God in complete control. Go to remote areas to try to reach the soul. Fake news being fake, man. The streets we made it quake. The army exceeding great, man. You should have seen they face. It's a blackout. Yeah, it's a blackout when them blacks out. And we ain't even bring the max out. Every hood, every street are getting packed out. All across the world, we the ones they ask about. It's a blackout. It's a blackout. We know what that's about. They try to hit us with the blackout. It's a blackout. It's a blackout. We know what that's about. They try to hit us with the blackout.
Tell us more about what you all were doing in Inglewood in the city of Chicago, because I know you're based out of New York. So tell us more about what that whole display was about
Corner News, where truth speaks.
Welcome back to Four Corners News, where the truth speaks. Thanks for staying tuned with us. We're going to get straight into it. Like we spoke about, if you was watching us when we was going live and promoting the show earlier, we're going to talk about this Revolt Summit that our fellow brothers and sisters sat up on a panel and discussed politics.
Right.
Politics,
With Republicans, Democrats,
yeah,
all that crap.
Yeah, it was sad, man. You know what? Killer Mike's gonna say it. Now, if you got kids watching this, we do advise parental discretion. Right. There is no filter on their mouth. So if you got kids and you don't want them to hear these words, you might want to send them to bed about now. All right, time they gotta go to school tomorrow anyway.
Right.
Go on now, get. Go on now, get. All right, hey, play that video for the people. We ain't got no sound. Run it back and give us some sound to it.
Blow it up.
Yeah. So it's been a real big push for politics. Cause Trump.
In Genesis chapter 41, and he tells.
Oh, I can't. Okay, get that together. But it's been a real push for black people to actually go out and vote and do all this and pick a correct candidate. You know why it's so heavy that people are doing this now? Because black people are realizing they are running out of options.
There you go.
Because check this out. They had Obama, right? They had Obama for 8 years. And they realized that the hood never changed under Obama. The same way it was under Bush, the same way it was under Trump, the same way it looks right now. Same way it was under Bush, the same way it looked under Obama, the same way it looks under Trump, right? It ain't changed. But what happened is black people had so much hope and faith in Obama that he was going to be the savior. He was Moses.
Right.
Back on earth.
Black Messiah.
And he was going to lead us out of Egypt.
Right.
And was change that we could believe in. But in 8 years, you realize this dude ain't nothing but he's a puppet being pulled by the strings of the white man. And ain't nothing he's doing for us.
It was put in place because Esau don't want them going down as the homosexual president. They want the black man to be the homosexual president.
Right. So they realized he couldn't help him, and then came Trump. Now they got the worst of the heathens right behind him. Like, oh my God,
No
now
filter.
We got him behind him. Oh Lord, what are we gonna do? So they lost hope in the black man. Got the worst of the worst white man. Now they like, black people. We have got to discuss our political. Future, right. We got to change something because black man didn't work. This white man's the worst. We got to get him out. No matter who we pick, we got to get him out. So that's why you see all of these rappers and entertainers and stuff going on platforms like this, trying to speak to the youth, and try to get them to go out and vote just to get Trump out. Play that video.
Stop it. Stop. Everybody hush. Hush and listen, because I'm about to give you the secret to what the fuck y'all are witnessing. What you niggas, N-E-G-U-S, of the royal kind, and niggas, N-I-double-G-S, what y'all are seeing right now are free people arguing over who got the best master. Oh yeah.
That cut a lot of people.
So,
yeah, they ain't like that.
We're going to go back to silent. Let's register this shit back down. We're going to lock this back down. So, I'll tell you when America was great. 7 years after the ending of the Civil War.
Pause it right there. I want to, because he cut a lot of people. They was going back and forth. Trump, the Democrats, Republicans, all of this. And he cut them when you arguing over what slave master to serve. Now, you know what? I didn't see people arguing over what slave master to serve. You know what I saw? I saw a bunch of Israelites doing everything they can not to turn back to God. That's what you saw. It wasn't slaves arguing over who's the best slave master. You saw Israelites that refused to turn back to God, trying to find every avenue they possibly can other than humble themselves and say to God, we have sinned.
Right, because you hear over and over. What can we do? What we do? But every time as the show goes on, you see that there's a meeting point where they're saying, okay, let's figure it out. Let's come together, right? And you think, as a woke brother, you would think, okay, now these brothers starting to see something. They finally coming together. Let's come together and turn back to God. But then you hear the same BS come up again. They go back to bickering and biting one another again.
Hey, go to Isaiah 30. Now look at this. Check this out. I want you to look. Google listening to me. Okay, I want y'all to understand this. Listen to this. When in the history of America, Negrodom, have you ever seen Moabites get on a panel and argue about what president to choose?
Bring it out. Say it again what you just said.
Name it.
Right, you gotta say that. Have that word.
When have you ever seen Asian people get together and argue over Democratic or Republic?
Or Arabs.
Have you ever seen Arabs?
No.
You ain't never seen that, right? You ain't never seen the East Indian do that, right?
No.
Hell, you ain't never even seen the Jewish people ever do that, right? You know why? Because they not the Israelites.
Right.
None of them. They are not God's people at all. That's why they've never got on that stage and done nothing like that. Here's the proof. Read Isaiah 30. Let's read 1 through 3.
Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Woe to the rebellious children.
God said what?
Woe to the rebellious children.
Destruction to the rebellious children. Now he's going to lay out how that they are rebellious to him. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord. That take counsel.
That do what?
That take counsel.
That have a summit. They call it the Revolt Summit and sit there. Who's the better president that we should choose? Should we go Republican or should we go Democrat? That is them sitting there having a live council in front of everybody. Read on.
That take counsel, but not of me.
God wasn't mentioned not one time. I watched the whole thing, the hour-long summit, revolt, conference, committee they had. Not one time was God mentioned at all in that. Go ahead.
And that cover with a covering.
What's the covering that our people use? Politics.
Right.
That's the covering that they use. This is what's going to shield us from the oppressor. Get the right president. Let's get the right mayors, the right governors, the right councils in there. Let's vote them in there. This is our covering from the oppression that is coming down on us like a damn weight of lead. Go ahead.
And take cover with a covering, but not of my spirit.
But what?
But not of my spirit.
Read on.
That they may add sin to sin.
All that is sin on top of sin. Every single year, you want every 4 years you want to vote a different president. That ain't nothing but sin on top of sin.
Right.
And that's all it is. So you seeing people that refuse to turn back to God. Read verse 2.
Verse 2. That walk to go down into Egypt.
And what was our occupation when we was in Egypt?
Slaves.
We were slaves. You keep wanting to go back into being a servant.
There you go.
Over and over, and then you mask it. Look, this is how they mask it. Because he's going to go on. We should get our own. Burn down both their damn houses and build our own. Well, Negro, you still going to be a servant because you're going to do it where? In the land of Egypt. You're going to do it in the land of your captivity. How about get your own damn land that the only person that can give it to you is Jesus the Christ? But the only way you're going to get that is if you do what? If you turn back to God.
That's the thing. They think if they speak the language of politics that they'll have a relief. They'll have a solution. But remember, the scripture constantly tell you, you will always be oppressed. You will always be oppressed. So they think using the tools of their enemy is going to benefit them. But over and over, the Bible reminds us, no, you need to reject that, come up out of it.
Right. Be totally separate.
There you go.
Because he goes on there and say, before we elect somebody as mayor into whatever state we in, here's the agenda that we have. Are you going to do thus, and then we'll agree to put you in office. So think about this. God says, gather yourselves together. Give me Isaiah chapter 29
Hold on. Let me finish this. Let me
yeah.
finish that. Read 2 and 3 again. Go ahead.
That walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth.
What law should we follow to get up out of this oppression? Go ahead.
To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
Now he's called president. That's who you strengthen. Now he's called mayor.
president.
Now he's called elected official. Now he's called governor. Go ahead.
And to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Read on.
Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh
of the presidents
be your shame.
It ain't never gonna work. Go ahead. What? Even if Trump don't get in office next year, guess what? You gonna get it with another president, and you're gonna realize like, damn he ain't doing nothing for us again. That 10-point agenda that we brought to him, he said he was gonna do it, but he got in office, and what he do? He forgot about us.
And you know what's crazy?
The way they trust in the Pharaoh's shadow, Egypt's shadow, is you see constantly. Even in the video, he said, "Go read the amendments. Go read the amendments. Study it for yourself.
Yep.
Like it was gonna do something for you. Remember, we under a nation that goes to other nations and cause turmoil." Dethrones whoever's in charge over there and set their purpose in that land. Come on now.
When the amendments was written, you wasn't even a thought.
Right. You still, and one of the sisters mentioned it that still in the Constitution, you still considered 3/5 of a man. In the Constitution, you're still considered less than a human being. And you trying to vote the right damn president. You niggas is crazy.
Hey, that's what I was going to say. You know, we putting a form together to deliver to an official for them to abide by. They don't abide by the form they put together. So how you think they're going to abide by something that Negroes put together?
Hey, read verse 3 again.
Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
How come we can't never get up? How come we take 2 steps forward, 10 steps backwards? We used to vote Republican because they talk about that. You don't even know that your ancestors were first Republicans out of slavery. But the Democrats tricked you, and now for the last 60 years you voted Democrat. Negro, you was a slave under Republicans. You was a slave under Democrats. What the hell? It don't matter who you choose.
Still gonna be a slave.
You still gonna be a slave. You still gonna be oppressed. Police brutality, less paying jobs, racially profiled. You gonna still be that regardless, because you know what? You don't trust in God. You trust in Egypt. Go ahead, officer. Break it
In
up.
the words of Jay-Z, still
nigga. Let's think about this, right? Because they had a whole bunch of people over there. I seen millionaires there. Those millionaires been millionaires for a good year or two. Not one of them thought about, you know what? Let me start getting my own apartments, put my own people in there. Let me start gathering things together, letting you know that money. We've been millionaires for years. Black people has had money for years.
And we still ain't got no hospital.
Exactly.
No
schools. Money is not going to change it. I'm going to tell you, there's something morally wrong with us. We will have all that money and still sleep with that neighbor's wife. We will have all that money and still try to sleep with that sister. Still try to rob that brother. Still try to kill that brother that looks just like me. Money is not going to change it.
And I pray, and I pray these brothers repent and change and all of that stuff. But before going to your point, officer, before you start talking about money and building infrastructure and killing both the slave masters and taking your own, your mind got to change.
Bring it out.
Because the brother T.I., just a few years ago, he had all that money and he was making deals getting damn illegal AK-47s brought into Atlanta and damn near went back to prison for it. So just because you got money don't mean it's going to change your condition as a people. The mind got to change, man.
I remember Bishop saying in the class, remember, all these people trying to rally up, get guns, we're going to fight against oppression, we're going to fight the white man. But remember, who makes the bullets?
The white man.
So you're going to get up all these guns, but who owns the bullets?
Right,
Who
right,
manufactures?
right.
Who has the factories? That's the same thing. You trying to get into politics?
Politics.
That's right. You said it right. That's all it is. False hope. It's false hope. That's another illusion. That's another hook from Satan that he laid there dormant for those intellectual Israelites.
Yep. They refuse to submit to
There
God.
you go.
Right.
Satan gave you politics.
There you go. That's another snare
Go to chapter 31. Go to chapter 31, read verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 31 and verse 1.
Read it.
Woe to them that go down to Egypt.
Go down to Egypt. Go ahead.
For help.
For what?
For help.
That's exactly what we're doing today. America is Egypt. Read on.
And stay on horses and trust in chariots.
Meaning the power of Egypt. Read on.
Because they are many.
Watch this.
And in horsemen, because they are very strong.
Read.
But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel.
We don't look to the Lord. That's exactly what's going on right here.
Yeah.
Read on.
Neither seek the Lord.
Read verse 3.
Verse 3.
Watch what God said about these men.
Now the Egyptians
Now the white man
are men.
God said they just men. They are nothing.
Yep.
Donald Trump is nothing.
Right.
Hillary Clinton is nothing.
Nada.
Read.
And not God.
The Most High is telling you, your presidents, your politics, they are not God.
So what's he letting you know? He's letting you know that the curses of Deuteronomy 28 ain't no president gonna
Nobody
change
gonna
that.
change it.
They ain't God enough
Nobody
to do
can
that,
do
buddy.
nothing about it.
You gonna be oppressed forever.
Right, keep reading.
And their horses flesh and not spirit.
Read on.
When the Lord shall stretch out his hand.
Watch this.
Both he that helpeth shall fall.
Both he that helpeth shall fall.
And he that is helping.
And he that is hoping
shall fall down.
Watch this.
And they all.
They what?
They all.
The help and the helper. Read.
Shall fail.
God says you're going to fail.
Together.
You're going to fail. Read it again. You go what?
And they shall fail together.
When you put your trust in somebody that ain't God, that's not even godly,
Right.
the Lord say, all y'all gonna fall.
Wow. You can hang it up.
Right. God calls him your enemy.
That's right.
You gonna go seek help from your enemy.
And the crazy thing is, he talk about burn down both the slave master's house.
Right,
then afterwards, you hear him bring up the Waffle House. Right? They had a situation that happened at the Waffle House where a sister got dish ragged, right?
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, we should just boycott this one Waffle House. Wait a minute. Will you just say in the same breath we should get rid of both of the master's houses?
Yeah, yeah.
But now you still fighting to keep one?
He still
and
like
I know
buying
Atlanta
bacon
has
and
a lot of good
He's like
cooks.
Waffle House bacon.
Israel got a lot of talent.
Right.
You telling me they can't build their own Waffle House?
Right. Right. Bring it out.
Why wasn't that part of the conversation?
Hey, they can build it, but it's gonna last 2 years because Negroes gonna go right to IHOP. Negroes gonna go right to Denny's, right to Cracker Barrels.
Right. Right.
Because black people own it.
That's why. That's what Cap was saying. We have to change the way that we think.
That's right.
Because watch this. Go to Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 5. Start from verse 4.
Isaiah.
We really have to change the way that we think in order for things to work. Just like what we brought out last week in FCN. That brother stood up for that sister, and you had black people right back in that store getting their nails done right in front of the Moab that just choked out one of your own. Watch this. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 4. And thou shalt be brought down.
Jeremiah chapter 29 and verse 4. Sorry about that.
Jeremiah chapter 29.
All praises. Jeremiah chapter 29 and verse 4. That's it.
Jeremiah chapter 29 and verse 4. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, unto all that are carried away captives.
We were carried away captives over here. Watch this, read.
Whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon.
Babylon the Great. This is America. Watch this, read.
Build ye houses.
It says first, build ye houses. Watch this. It's not saying build houses with your oppressor. Build ye houses, read.
And dwell in them.
So we're supposed to be making houses for one another. But again, if we're not morally right, if we're not right in the head with the words of God, how would we be able to establish these houses and make sure that our people ain't selling drugs all around the neighborhood? Watch, read.
And plant gardens.
And it says plant ye gardens. So when you plant gardens, what you're doing, you're providing produce. You're providing food for one another. You're not only that, but when you build houses, you provide shelter for one another. So you're taking care of each other. Read.
and eat the fruit of them. Take ye wives, and begat sons and daughters.
You see that? Now watch this, read.
And take wives for your sons, and give your daughters to husbands.
It's telling you how to build back the black nation. It's telling you how to do it. It's telling you the women you have to submit to your husband.
Right.
It's letting you know that. Watch, read.
That they may bear sons and daughters, that ye may be increased there and not diminished.
Because the kids see, okay, look at what the men are doing. This is our example. This is what we're going to have to build bigger and better things of what our predecessors left behind. Now watch this. This is for you brothers that's talking about burn down the slave master's house.
Yeah.
Watch this, read.
And seek the peace of the city, whether I have caused you to be carried away captives.
Do what?
Seek the peace of the city, whether I have caused you to be carried away captives.
No, burn everything down.
Seek the peace of the city, whether I have caused you to be carried away captives.
Just like what Captain Severus said. Brothers talk about, man, they did this at Waffle House. Okay. Instead of burning it down, don't buy nothing from them anymore. Create your own Waffle House. Think about it. If every black, Hispanic, and Native American would say in America, right now we would no longer buy from Walmart. We will only purchase from Publix.
Oh, it'll go out of business.
You see what would happen?
Out of business.
But that takes for us to gather together.
That's
collectively.
Right.
Hey, that takes work, and we lazy, bro.
Right.
Walmart is only 10 minutes away. Publix is an hour away. Damn it, I'm going to Walmart.
And guess what?
We lazy, bro.
In that forum, you had a bunch of millionaires sitting right there, front row. All right, on the stage.
He did it, damn near billionaire.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you telling me they didn't have enough power, or spending power to do that? Buy up a supermarket.
Right. Yeah.
Not even a supermarket.
They do.
And the thing is, they can't pool their money together because everybody gonna see all this money and how we gonna spend this and how they gonna fight over that.
Right.
Oh, the mind ain't right. The mind ain't right. Go back to the video. Let's play some more on that.
Hold, Candace, because you didn't give the comment, so you weren't prepared for that one. No, but that's not to jump on Candace, because again, I'm disagreeing with my friend. 7 years after the end of the Civil War, blacks within 7 to 15 years accumulated over 15 million acres of land. Hold on, before we get to clapping, because the niggas bought some shit. Black people were the only skilled labor in there. So if it was welding to be done, iron bending, cotton picking, it was black people. So instantly, your value became more. And Candace has a point. The point that she made about illegal immigration affecting you is that it's going to affect you at some point. Why? If the Kegel Chicken Factory is hiring illegal immigrants at an undercut on the rate, it affects the black people who live there who should be demanding $20 an hour because they're being undercut. So when they get wiped out, they have to hire blacks, pay them, and unionize. So she's right on that. But hold the fuck on, I'm not finished. You have to remember that people who look like you immigrate too. So before you widely say, fuck them all, remember, America is always going to have a slave class. And if illegal immigrants or legal immigrants will not be the lowest paid workers, those in prison will be, and that always ends up looking like one of their sons. So it circles back around. So that's why people who are black, who are from two different plantations, got to get the fuck away from massa long enough to say, how are we going to burn down both their fucking houses? Now, this is my thought. This is my thought. I don't care if you destroy the
Let it talk. Go ahead. Let it
Republican or Democratic Party, because at one time blacks were Republicans, and you dominated those 7 years after the Civil War. You were Republicans. You had more blacks in the House and Senate than you do now, and you dominated your own economic and communities. You did that as Republicans. As Democrats, you did the same in cities like Atlanta. You failed in other cities, but the most important thing is self-organizing. By the time we get to a candidate, we should have a list that says white man,
here we go,
white woman,
here we go.
These are our demands. You can meet them and get our vote or not.
Pause it. See, look at this. I'm gonna tell you right now. It takes a spiritual man with spiritual eyes to understand the hypocritical statement he just made.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because didn't he just say he's talking about to
Get rid of
the hell burn down this house,
To hell with you. You argued over which slave master's better. But then he goes back and says, here's a 10-point program, white man, that we want you to do. Which one is it?
For real.
Are you on your own and you independent?
Right.
Or are you still dependent on the white man to be your savior?
Right.
Which one is it? Make up your mind. That went over a lot of people's head. They didn't catch that.
Right.
You see, that's that false sense of independence that people who don't know God will give you and make you think that you are independent doing your own thing because you told the white man which direction to go and he's going there because you told. No, the white man is not going to make a decision that will not benefit him in the end.
Right. There you go.
So you can give a 10-point program, whatever the hell you want to give to the white man, and you know what he gonna do? He gonna flip it and find a way to make 10 times more money off you than you thought you was gonna make off of him.
And you know why he said that? Because the scriptures can't be broken. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 48.
Go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 29. I'm gonna show you this. Deuteronomy 28:29, where he talking about burn this down, do this, get your own this. You was independent, financially stable. Read and look what happened. Look what happened. You had all that stuff 7 years after the Civil War, right? Read Deuteronomy 28:29.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 29.
Bring it out.
And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness.
Always searching for the truth. Go ahead.
And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways.
God said what?
And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways.
So yeah, you were successful 7 years after Civil War. You did have Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You did have thriving communities in North Carolina. Yeah, you had all of that stuff. But guess what? You will not escape the curses of God because you are the Israelites.
That's right.
No matter how much money you accumulate in whatever time period it is, you will always fall up under that curse, and God is going to keep you oppressed because of what? You continue to add sin upon sin. You refuse to humble yourself and turn to God and keep his laws. You continue to trust in your oppressor and trust in his ways and want to assimilate to him. So you know what? Every so often, God got to let you get up, get some money, and you know what? He activate the angels. Hey, go and drop Deuteronomy 28:29 on them. Boom, and you come right back down until they repent. Over and over again. Go ahead, officer.
And he did say that we'll go up and then we'll get knocked back down. Right. Go up, get knocked back down. It's not a fight against us and the oppressor. Right. It's a fight between us and God.
Yep.
God says, keep my commandments. You don't want to keep it, he's going to beat you down to the ground.
Yep. Right.
That's the only way you're going to listen.
And
through
check
affliction.
Check this. That's a fight that we will never win.
Never.
Right. You will never win fighting against God. Keep trying to change his mind on how you are going to change your circumstances in the land of your captivity. Right. That's the craziest thing about it, that we are in the land of our slavery, bought here as slaves, and we are trying to live like we are free Negroes, trying to lean on the Constitution and the amendments. Negro, it was never made for you. The damn Star-Spangled Banner is talking about killing slaves.
Right.
What makes you think you're going to change stuff that they have written in their law that they said they will never change? The Constitution won't change. You can only make amendments to it, change it a little bit, but the foundation of it will never. ever change at all.
Hey, let me get 2 Peter 3.
Hold on, before we leave that. Jump to verse 20 real quick before we leave this chapter.
Verse 20. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 20.
Bring it out.
The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do.
That's exactly what's going on. That you could take your little nice little big font paper to the white man. What's going to happen? He said he will do what?
And the Lord shall send upon thee cursing,
come on,
vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do.
Read.
Until thou be destroyed.
Read.
And until thou perish quickly.
Why?
Because of the wickedness of thy doings.
In the video, he also said, listen, I want you to go read this book, that book, this book. And he said he did it even smoking weed.
Yeah, he did say that, didn't he? He said, I got high last night, read the amendments.
Read the amendments. Read on.
Whereby thou hast forsaken me.
Why?
Whereby thou hast forsaken me.
Listen, I'm going to say the statement. Listen, They want these rights, that right, this for their community. But remember, every ruling kingdom, the only thing that establish a ruling kingdom is laws.
Yep. Right.
You can't move forward without laws.
Yeah.
They're going about trying to establish a kingdom, right? They're trying to establish a nation or sovereignty, but they can't do it without laws.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
They
you're
are
right.
void of laws.
Yep.
Any type of understanding.
See, this is what Black America has come, who in their mind they think is going to lead the future generations into a better direction. They think money is going to solve all their problems.
That's exactly what it is.
That's where they at. Go ahead, Captain.
No, go ahead, man.
Okay, see, they think money is going to save all, change their condition and save them out of the oppression that they in. But money ain't never been the answer to our problems. We don't have a money problem. We got a spiritual problem. That's right. As a nation. You pointed it out. He read the amendment, smoking weed. God says be sober, right? We got problems where you got women want to lead the man. God says a woman be subject to your husband.
Right.
God says to keep my commandments and live. We say no. YOLO. YOLO. We say things like the reason why we dying is police brutality. No, it's because you don't keep the commandments. It's a spiritual problem that we got as a nation, not a financial problem.
That's right.
That ain't it at all. Go back to the video, and then we're going to go to the next one. Because we're going to dig into the next one. Go ahead.
We're going to stay home and crochet and make collard greens. But what you cannot do is continue to argue over who is the best master. I don't give a fuck if it's Trump, Obama, your mama, my mama. What the fuck do you have for me and my community? Now,
pause it.
If you do not.
Now look at that. You heard all of that stuff. Now just jump over Deuteronomy 28:48. Because this is all he said out of his mouth. What do you, white man, have for me?
Bring it out.
What can you give me? Because I can't produce it on my own.
Right.
So I need you to give it to me.
Right.
That's a slave.
Right.
That is a slave. Read verse 48.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48.
Bring it out.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
You are going to take a 10-point program to him and say, what can you do for me, Master? Go ahead.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
God sent him against you because of your wickedness. God sent that white man to the west coast of Africa. God sent that white man to the Americas by the name of Christopher Columbus and all the conquistadors after him because you continue to trust in oppression. Go ahead.
In hunger and in thirst.
In food and water. If you want good food in your... Look, we've been talking about this. If you want good food in your black communities instead of fast food restaurants, you want a Whole Foods in your neighborhood. You don't want to get gentrified and stuff, right? God said you got to serve your enemy for it.
Bring it out.
If you want clean water in your neighborhood, like in Flint, Michigan, guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to elect a local governor or an official or a city council to change the water pipes in that city because you can't do it yourself. Go ahead.
And in nakedness.
If you want good clothing, if you want different kind of clothes, you want 100%, you want the finer things in life. Well, you better hope that Burberry does it. Even though they put blackface on some Gucci and disrespect you, guess what? If you want to wear their clothes, you still going to have to do what they say. Go ahead.
And in want of all things.
If you want anything and you want good equal education, because this is some talking points in politics. I'll be watching Roland Martin Unfiltered, right? I'll be watching some talking points. If you want better education, better health care, equal pay, better housing, if you want job promotions, if you want just a little bit of freedom from your oppression, if you want police brutality, if you want all of those higher learning,
higher minimum wage,
if you want all of those things, God said you're going to have to take a 10-point plan to your master because you refuse to serve me, so I'll make you serve your master. That's where you at right now. What's that proving? We are the Israelites. That's right. No doubt about it. And the reason why I say that, and we bring out these curses and how it's going to all tie together, play that next video to show you. This is so this is what you get. You get blacks and Hispanics that will get up on a panel and argue who's the best master to serve because you don't know who you are. Play that next video.
Different fear-mongering tactics that is going to try to keep us from participating in the census. The danger of that is that what comes out of the census is how resources are distributed in your local community. So not participating in the census is not going to be the boogeyman strategy for everyone else. I think Candace's point is right, that it becomes the black or white issue when the resources go to the white community because they have convinced us that we should not do the work in our communities. The reality is that no one is going to suppress or try to suppress a vote or a count if they don't understand the power of it. So anything that people are telling you you should not participate in, especially folks from what we consider to be the other side, when they are trying to tell you that you should not participate in something, you always have to question, why is it that white folks are getting counted in their communities, that they are voting in the ways in which they should, and our communities are being told not to participate?
Because the illegals are flooding the black community.
The illegals are.
All right, y'all. So I want to hear from you all.
I agree with that.
I want to hear from you all. We got a mic right here. And we've got folks coming to ask questions, and we got a long line. So if you can ask your question as quickly as possible, so we can get as many in.
Quick. Now, for those of you that did not watch this, put the camera on me. For those of you that did not watch this Revolt Summit, after Killer Mike gave that grand speech of burn down the houses, kill the slave masters, and make your own, right? And do your own thing. For the next 45 minutes, not one single solution came out from T.I., Killer Mike, the women sitting on there, Candace whoever, and the Negro that looked like Carlton on the end with the sweat on his neck. For the next 45 minutes, not one person up there on the panel offered a solution of how to mobilize and do this, what Killer Mike just said, to do our own and make our own stuff. So let you know, all of that they went on there and did is just one big ass show.
That's it. Even the host was mad.
Yep.
You can see he started to get frustrated. He's like, wait a minute. I don't want us to leave the point and go back to bickering to one another.
Yep.
I want us to make sure we actually engage what Killer Mike just said.
In healthy conversation.
Exactly.
How do we do, this is what he said, how do we do, what action do we put forth that Killer Mike just talked about? And it was silence.
Not even Killer Mike.
It was silence on the stage like crickets. T.I. looked around at Killer Mike. Killer Mike sat there like, And the women looked around, looked at the man like, are y'all going to say something? Please, somebody give us some solutions. Because the only solution we got is to pick what slave master serve.
That's
this summit wasn't about bringing solutions.
Nope.
This summit was only to get more Negroes to vote.
That's it.
Right. That's it. The summit was only to get more Israelites to trust in oppression.
Right.
That's why nobody up there has solutions. Now, those are the supposedly leaders of the community.
Right.
And none of them have a solution?
None of them.
I will say, okay, one. But none of them have a solution?
You know what their solution is? Is what they say. Black people, you need to own businesses. Own businesses, employ your own people. How? What's the steps?
There you go.
How do we get to that point?
Right.
How do we overcome redlining or the bank loaning where they give us higher interest? How do we overcome that? How do we do this? How do we do that? None of them had a plan of action to move forward right there on the panel, on the spot. So they was all just blowing smoke. That was
brother
it.
up there, Jay Morrison, he was one of the
He's
brothers
great
that
come up.
He's one that you actually see. He's on the street showing the black folks how to buy homes, what to do, the value of property and everything. You actually see him. That's one brother I thought he was going to be on the panel as well.
I thought he should have been on the panel. Now, that dude, Jay Morris, I will give him his props. He knows about real estate.
Is that the brother that just bought the apartment complex?
I don't know if he just bought it or I don't know, but he got a lot.
Yeah,
he got a lot. That brother know what he's talking about when it comes to real estate, and he actually goes on the street corners and teaches brothers how to own real estate for free.
Yep.
Like he set up on the corners and do that up in Brooklyn and stuff. And so he actually got an actionable plan, a plan of action to move forward to get some sort of independence as a nation for us, right? He knows how to do it. So I do commend him on that. But everybody can't do that, right? So, but now look what else, because he's going to come up. Look what else goes along with that plan of action to have, because without what he brings up, the plan of action will never work.
It won't be established.
Go to the video.
CEO of the Tulsa Real Estate Fund.
Run it back a little bit.
Yeah, that's the brother.
Run it back a little bit.
That's the brother.
Run it back a little bit. No, not there. I don't want to hear her talk. Right there. There you go. There you go. Right there. Go back some. I want to hear his name. Go back.
Honorable Malcolm X said, "We suffer from political oppression."
Yeah, right there.
Our communities are being told not to participate.
Because the illegals are flooding the black community.
The illegals are
All right, so I want to hear from you all.
I agree with that.
I want to hear from you all. We got a mic right here. And we've got folks coming to ask questions, and we got a long line. So if you can ask your question as quickly as possible so we can get as many in.
CEO of the Tulsa Real Estate Fund.
He the CEO of the Tulsa Real Estate
Honorable
Fund.
Malcolm X said, "We suffer from political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation." I believe for us to end our political oppression, we need political unity. This is a healthy debate, but I think we're approaching it too micro and not enough macro. I believe if we're going to unify, we got to unify first around nationality.
Uh-oh.
So my question is, Tip knows this.
Pause it.
Bring it out.
Bring it out.
Fly, man.
Damn.
That brother fly.
That play
Probably got to fly.
That's a heavy point. We got to unify around. That's a start. We got to unify around nationality.
Except for 9, 2, and 1.
Exactly right. And guess what? This is what our forefathers did back in the day. Nehemiah, when they came back to rebuild Jerusalem, build back up our nation. What did they tell the other nation? He said, "Separate from us.
You have
nothing to do with us."
That's what I was gonna pull out. Yeah, I was gonna pull that out.
Go to that real quick. I know we short on time, but we got to get through this. Let's go Nehemiah, and it might be like chapter 5 or something. Let's see. If you know where it is, get it, pull it. Let's see.
Or Ezra 4. You go to Ezra 4 too.
Nah, I wanted in the one in Nehemiah. Let's see here. Nehemiah chapter 4. And nickel it, therefore, a higher place, our family spirits, labor their work. Nehemiah chapter 4, and let's see. I walk in the God and the fear of our heathens. It might be Ezra.
Nah, it's Nehemiah.
Yeah, it's Nehemiah. There's one on Nehemiah and Ezra.
Read Nehemiah chapter 4. Nehemiah chapter 4, and I want to read verse 19. There we go. Nehemiah 2, 19 and 20. Nehemiah chapter 2, verse 19 and 20.
Nehemiah chapter 2 and verse 19. But when Sanballat, the Horonite, and Tobiah, the servant, the Ammonite, and the Geshem, and the Arabian heard it, they laughed us to scorn and despised us and said, "What is this thing that ye do? Will ye rebel against the king?" Then answered I them and said unto them, "The God of heaven, he will prosper us. Therefore we, his servants, will arise and build. But ye have no portion, nor right, nor memorial in Jerusalem."
That ain't what I want.
Ezra 4 and 3.
9 and 2. Okay, go ahead. Read 9 and 2.
Nehemiah chapter 9 and verse 2.
Yeah.
And the seed of Israel separated themselves.
They did what?
Separated themselves from all strangers.
From where?
From all strangers.
So they wasn't trying to mingle with nobody else's nationality, no other people. They gathered themselves together as the Israelites. And what did they do? They did what they did in Nehemiah. Said, "You have nothing to do with us when it comes to building." Read on.
And stood and confessed their sins and the iniquities of their fathers. And they stood up in their place and read in the book of the law of the Lord their God 1/4 part of the day. And another 4th part they confessed and worshiped the Lord their God.
So that's what we got to do. We got to separate ourselves from all the other strangers that want to, what you would say, they would try to latch on to us and then nitpick away from us our resources and things like that, and secretly divide us as a people until they end up destroying us. We got to gather ourselves together with that one mind as Israel and read out the book of the law.
That's right.
You pointed that part out, the law, because our forefathers always went to the law. To the law. Before anything was established, they ran to the law first.
That's it. That's exactly right. Hey, go back to the video real quick. Play it from there.
As quickly as possible so we can get as many in.
CEO of the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. Honorable Malcolm X said, we suffer from political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. I believe for us to end our political oppression, we need political unity. This is a healthy debate, but I think we're approaching it too micro and not enough macro. I believe if we're going to unify, we got to unify first around nationality. So my question is, Tip knows this. We spoke about it in your Rafe outside my office. Tamika knows this. We spoke about this for years. Puff, we want to bring this to you. We need a black vote day. Not a vote day about Democrat or Republican. We need to vote about who we are as a people. Are we Africans in America? Are we Pan-Africans? Are we Moors? Are we Nation of Islam? Who is our nationality? What is our flag? What is our Constitution? What are our bylaws? What are our values? And so what I'm saying to the panel with us as leaders, can we be that intentional, Mike, about burning down both the master's houses, focusing on our own house, galvanizing all of our leaders in one place at one time to vote on our nationality, our flag, our values, and have a black vote day in real life? Can we do that?
Pause it. Now, that was all fine and dandy, but I'm telling you right now, it is a conspiracy on a blackout of Israelites. I'm telling you. Right. And all of them know that.
Come on, man. We teach that every school, man.
Where do you think he got that from, dude?
Yeah, he watched the Israelites.
He named every nationality under the sun that can pertain to us except the Israelites. I'm telling you, it's a conspiracy. They are true. I don't know if it's amongst them or if they done got a call from somebody above them that they serve saying you better not associate yourself with them. So what they do is they throw out the stuff that they heard from us, but don't want to give the credit from where it came from.
Right. That's what it is, Cap. They know they would have to fall in line.
There you go.
And the black man don't like to fall in line.
Right.
Exactly. Because they like to do their own thing.
Because just the other week, we went to Chicago and we showed 1,000+ men in unity under one banner, which is the Bible, under one law, on the Constitution, which is the scriptures. T.I. took what we did, he tweeted it out. So he already know the blueprint because he saw it firsthand. But then he get up there and he's quiet as a church mouse.
Bring it out.
Give me Romans 10 real quick. Romans 10 and start at verse 2.
Romans chapter 10 and
verse 1 real quick.
In verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is.
For Israel, come on.
That they might be saved.
Come on.
For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God.
And that's what you saw right there. He had a great zeal. He already knew that we were lacking nationality. We were lacking our laws. All right. That's the glue. Our laws. Come on.
But not according to knowledge.
Now the pieces to bring it together, we was lacking. We still lacking to this day, but not no more. Now the men of the Lord is bringing the actual glue. We have the nationality. We made the search of our fathers. We know what our heritage is. We know what caused us to be disconnected from it. Now here you go. Is that it on that? Come on.
For they being ignorant of God's righteousness.
There you go.
You see that? That's the part. They are ignorant of God's righteousness.
And going about to establish their own righteousness.
Politics.
That's what he wants to do. What's our flag? He wants to have a black vote day. That's because he's ignorant of the knowledge of God. He's ignorant of who he is, truly. Go to Isaiah 65:15. And for those that watch that and may watch this, put 2 and 2 together, now you understand, no doubt about it, we the Israelites.
That's right.
We are the Israelites. What other nation you hear standing up crying about having a black vote day of who we are? Let's decide on the nationality of who we are, and we can move forward from that point under one banner.
And that show you just how low our own self-esteem is.
Right.
Just how low we see ourselves as, because we fighting for one day. We said we need to come together and have a black vote day. One day, that's all you worth? You only worth one day? The Lord said you're the greatest in the whole universe.
That's right.
You are the greatest thing created on this side of the world. And you only voting for one day?
And I want to know who they would elect if they had that one day.
To elect to be their leader?
Right. Who's
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, wouldn't be nobody teaching the truth. I tell you that.
That's right. See,
that's
wouldn't be nobody teaching the truth.
All right.
Not at all. Read that Isaiah 65:15.
Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen.
Instead of being called my chosen, you left your name for a curse, and now you're searching for it in the last days because you're realizing everything that you done tried ain't really working. So you got to do what? We got to find out what our name is again. Go ahead.
For the Lord God shall slay thee and call his servants by another name.
Go to Deuteronomy chapter 32. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 32, and I want to read verse 26.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 26.
Bring it out.
I said, I would scatter them into corners.
Who was scattered into the four corners of the earth all over the world? It was us, the black man, the Hispanic man, the Native Indian man. Read.
I would make the remembrance.
I would what?
I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
You forgot who you was. And now you are waking up and you coming back searching for God, so you searching for your name. Right. Give me 2 Chronicles 7 and 14. So what is that solution for you to get that name back? Because it ain't going to be a black vote day.
Nope.
It ain't going to be a black vote day. Read that 2 Chronicles 7:14.
2 Chronicles chapter 7 and verse 14.
And we're going to go back to the video after this. Go ahead.
If my people, which are called by my name.
The Israelites, us, the black man, we call by God's name, but we don't know it. Go ahead.
Shall humble themselves.
Do what?
Humble themselves.
Stop trusting in oppression. Stop trying to pick which slave master to live up under. Go ahead.
And pray and seek my face.
Study the scriptures. Go ahead.
And turn from the wicked ways. Then will I hear from heaven.
Then what?
Then will I hear from heaven.
When you ask God what your name is, then he'll hear you. Then he'll hear you and give you that understanding of what your name is, what's your constitution, what you shall be gathering together up under, which way to go, which way to maneuver. Because check this out. All other nations who know their name, they do that. I'm going to give you a perfect example. Asians, they know who they are. So they maneuver together in one mind. How do they do that? You know what? We're going to set up shop in the black community, and we're going to do what? We're going to get nail salons. We're going to get weave shops. We're going to get damn laundromats, and we're going to get dry cleaners. And this is how we're going to build our nation here in the Babylon the Great. Although we're not captives here, but while we here, we're going to get as much money as we can, and we all going to have this same mind. And this is where all of us are. You get a laundromat, you get a dry cleaners, you get a nail salon, you get a weed shop, and then we're going to get all this money, and we're going to pull it all in the one direction and send it back to China.
Every major city in America, there's a Chinatown.
Yes.
We were just in Chicago, and it looked exactly like China.
It sure did. Everyone, Chinese words on the wall. In America, black neighborhood right down the street, Chinese writing on the damn side of the building.
Shaolin Temple.
Shaolin Temple in Chicago.
Every shop in Chinatown, you got it in Chicago, you got it in Washington, D.C.
Everywhere.
New York,
Literally
Miami,
everywhere. You got it. How did the Arabs unite under their nationality and come together? What did they say? You know what? We're going to get convenience stores and 7-Elevens in all these Negroes' neighborhoods. And we're going to get all these quick bark shops, and we're going to take all these Negroes' money and get it and build up our nation back over there in Iraq.
And they have their own community. And they have their own community as well.
Yep. Exactly right.
That's the crazy thing about it, because I grew up with an Ishmaelite, and he would drive 2-3 hours just to go home. I'm like, why you chilling in the hood for? And I just found out that his family rich. I'm like, what you in the hood for? He just want to try to act like he a thug. They have their own communities and all.
Isaiah 30 and 20.
Bring it out.
Because everybody on that forum has heard the truth. You best believe that.
Yeah, they have.
Every last one of them have heard the truth.
And we're gonna show the video after you get the script to show you that T.I. posted that video on Instagram, and he may have been looking at the videos right after, because the words he speak, it goes directly back to Israelites. Watch it.
Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 20.
Bring it out.
And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed in a corner anymore.
All the things that the so-called blacks and Spanish and Americans have been through when it come to politics, when it come to redlining, when it come to oppression.
Right.
And the Lord said, now my teachers, the prophets that I've sent before you, they shall not be removed anymore. Read on.
But thine eyes,
your eyes
shall see thy teachers.
Read on.
And thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way.
Why would they be hearing the word behind them? Because they're walking away.
Right. Yep.
We're right here telling you, this is the way.
That's right.
But you still got to go in a form, and the brother poses the question, and none of y'all know the answer?
No.
All of y'all have seen us. All of y'all have heard the words of the Lord tell you, this is the way.
Yep.
Read.
This is the way. Walk ye in it.
Go ahead.
When ye turn to the right hand and when ye turn to the left.
This is the way. None of y'all got excuses now.
Yep.
Everybody on that forum, everybody on that stage have either seen an Israelite, heard from an Israelite, seen a tweeted Israelite video.
Got a flyer from
got a flyer
like
from an Israelite.
Fantasia and her husband.
And we've been
they
telling
got
you.
flyers from Israelites.
Right. And we've
from
been telling you.
IUIC.
And we've been telling you from the beginning of time, because it's the same spirits back on the earth. From the beginning of time, this is the way. Yep. Walk ye in it.
Right. Because you know they heard it because the documentary about President Barack Obama, what they had in the documentary?
Yep, they had Israelites.
The documentary they got about the Wu-Tang Clan, what do they got in the documentary? The Israelites.
Actually, one of the artists is on the Wu-Tang Clan, Killer Priest, I think.
Yeah, he's
been learning.
Hey, watch this, right? Killer Mike said we need to burn down both of the slave masters' houses. Right. Who is the #1 enemy to that slave master? Israelites.
Right.
So what does that tell you? That tells you something. Wait a minute. The truth is where the enemy lies. If the enemy of my enemy is my friend, this is the way.
That's right.
The same people you trying to burn down their house, they hate the Israelites for a special reason.
Yep.
They don't hate Christianity. The same. And everybody on that stage know Christianity is false. Right. They don't hate Islam. They hate the Israelites.
Yep. Right. That's right. Go back to that video. Let's finish it. Let's hear what T.I. got to say.
I think it would be helpful. I do. Because I think there's a lot of conversation right now around reparations and so on and so forth. But as I have been enlightened by Brother Jay Morrison, we can't get reparations because we haven't been officially classified as a nationality. African American is not a nationality.
Whoa.
Black is not a nationality.
Whoa.
So you can't give reparations to people who don't have an official nationality, a flag, a constitution, and you have a seat at the UN. You know what I'm saying? And also, so when people ask me about reparations, I'm like, well, that's kind of putting the cart before the horse. So I understand the importance of that, but I also think that it has to be detailed instructions, line items, step by step of how to achieve this goal, so you will know exactly what you're asking people to do.
Whoa! Pause. We got a long line upon line, detailed instructions.
Right. Sound like the Bible.
Sound just like the Bible.
Hey, it sound like the book that the Israelites scream about.
Right.
Sound like what the brothers on the corner on the Sabbath scream about.
Cap, he didn't scroll through our videos after posting. He didn't see a couple of IUIC videos.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it, because he said we got to have detail. Here's the detail. We're going to end on this. Deuteronomy chapter 30, and let's read one on down real quick. We'll end it with this. Here's the detailed instruction, the details that you need to get your nationality back and to get up out of oppression. Right. So you ain't got to serve no slave master no more. You'll serve the Lord thy God and his son, Jesus the Christ, forever.
That's right.
Read that quickly.
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, when all these things come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations.
You start to remember yourself. Go ahead.
Whether the Lord thy God have driven thee, and shall return unto the Lord thy God.
Do what?
And shall return unto the Lord thy God.
And do what?
And shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee.
All that what?
All that I command thee this day.
Moses commanded us to keep the commandments.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Thou and thy children.
Your children.
With all thine heart and with all thy soul.
Read.
That will turn thy captivity.
He'll get you up out of that oppression. God said, I'll get you up out of that oppression when you get together, get your children together, get your wife together, turn to me with all your heart, then I will turn your oppression where you ain't got to choose a slave master.
Bring it out. Matter of fact, shoot. Our master already been chosen. Our king already been chosen.
That's right.
That's right. Self-elected already.
That's right. Jesus the Christ. Read on, verse 3. Read it quickly.
That then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whether the Lord thy God have scattered thee. If any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven.
No matter where you are, go ahead.
From thence will the Lord thy God gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee.
Read on, here's the point.
And the Lord thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed.
You will go back to your own homeland where you will rule it. You'll be the landlords. And your master now, he'll be your servant.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. And the Lord thy God will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed, to love the Lord thy God with all thine heart and with all thine soul, that thou mayest live.
So if you want your own real estate, your own land, your own farmland to grow your own food, God says repent and keep the commandments and the faith in Christ and endure until the end, and then you will get that.
Hey, read verse 7, then we can go. Read verse 7.
And the Lord thy God will put all these curses
verse 8 too.
Upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee.
So the tables will be turned, right? Read verse 8.
And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Lord and do all his commandments.
You got to do what?
All his commandments.
That's the only way you're going to get up out of here, baby. That's the only way you're going home to have all of that God has promised you. You have to do the commandments. Read.
Which I command thee this day.
That is your detailed manuscript of how to obtain your nationality, how to prosper as a nation, how to get up out of this oppression.
That's right.
So we're going to end it there on Four Corners News.
That's right.
Thank you for tuning in. Lord's Will Life Lasts. We'll be back next Thursday, 8:30
Hey, we got to get a shout out.
Eastern Standard Time.
Shout out to the brothers in the back. Officer Azanah, Brother Paul, Officer Zion, the brothers on the camera.
That's right.
Brother Lemuel, Brother Caleb, all praise to the Most High.
All praise to the Most High. And with that,
Hold on. Don't forget. Visit the website, IUIC, IsraelUnite.org. Make sure you visit. Got classes 7 days a week.
That's right.
3 times a day. Make sure you visit.
Donate to the Booster Club.
Donate to the Booster Club. Support the truce. There's a lot of work out there to do, y'all.
And Lord's will, you brothers and sisters, stay in the spirit. Day of Atonement is Monday night.
There we go.
Monday night. If you have an art with your brother, art with your sister, call them now.
That's right. And with that, we say shalom.
Playing with your sin right now, that's so dangerous. Your judgment come quick before you try to hang it off.
It's so hard to serve God. Why when I say that I'm a Jew, it sound odd. For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sounds wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcast, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.